I can't tell if I see that 13 people are in here. I just can't tell if anyone's commenting. It's the first time doing it on my phone, so I'm just peeling potatoes. So I don't know. Oh wait, there we go. Perfect, very clear. So I decided to just, Ben was requesting some sort of breakfast, so I had stuff for breakfast burritos, so I decided to turn on the camera while I cook. So I'm currently sitting on a chair in my drawer. And they're kind of gnarly. Some of them are pretty rough. So I don't think I'll be able to get those. But I'm just going through and peeling a bunch of these potatoes that I found, and hopefully I can salvage some potatoes that I'll use to make breakfast burrito. And then I'll do a tofu scramble. I also have a single frozen Beyond sausage that I'll probably saute in a pan before I actually cook the tofu scramble, so it'll kind of flavor, cook the tofu in some of the Beyond sausage grease. I know there's a Beyond breakfast sausage out now, but I haven't gone out to see if I can find it anywhere. But I bet it's pretty good. I think the Italian sausage is interesting in a breakfast burrito. We'll see. Can't be bad, right? So how's everybody doing? Is anybody cooking delicious meals out there? And show him off, but I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm not sure how many potatoes to actually cook. Just trying to salvage these, like I was saying. Also, this seems like a weird way for me to peel potatoes with a peeler. Peeling it with a peeler like I would use a knife. It's all about the angle here. I just made the tasty recipe for pancakes. My kiddos devour them. Is it a vegan pancake recipe? So these are going to be baked in the oven. So the oven just went off to tell me that it's ready. Are the tasty pancakes vegan, or did you veganize them, or did you just make them as they were? It's actually kind of therapeutic peeling potatoes. I'm not enjoying it. I'm glad the phone's working. Last time we tried to do a live stream, we were trying to use my computer over the Wi-Fi, and it just wasn't working. It was later in the evening too, which is always problematic. Vegan pancakes using apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Actually, so yesterday, thank you, Lindsay. I actually made cupcakes yesterday using a recipe from Zuzu. Hi. Using a recipe from the Vegan Roadie, his cookbook Epic Vegan. I was up early. I was watching Food Network. Stumbled across his episode of the Girl Scout cookie baking championship. So he was cooking vegan cakes. I'm back again. Actually, in my Epic Vegan book, I have a recipe for just a basic cake. So I ate it, turned it into cupcakes, and they came out so good. Even Ben liked them. I don't know. I've tried making baked goods before, and they always just come out kind of weird. And this came out just like the perfect cake. It was moist and country crock, like vegan butter spread or whatever, plant butter, whatever they call it. And the cupcakes are amazing. Let me actually show you. But the reason I was telling you this is, come on, the base of the cake base is basically made with baking soda and apple cider vinegar, and that's what gives it the lift. So you mix the dry ingredients, you mix the wet ingredients, and then the apple cider vinegar mixed with the baking soda is what gives it lift. Oh, hey, Veganist Fork. Right back at you. Hope y'all are doing well in New York. I haven't actually, I don't know if I should admit this, but I haven't really been watching YouTube at all lately. I've been watching a lot of really terrible TV, but if you guys like vegan cooking channels, definitely check out Veganist Fork. Those lovely ladies over there make amazing recipes. And also, you have a vlog channel too, right? I subscribe to them both, but said I haven't watched YouTube in probably a month. So I don't really I like really nice canned stuff that I don't have to face too much reality. So, but I'll have to check out the tasty pancakes recipe. I'm sure I could turn this cupcake recipe into a pancake recipe as well. I was thinking that it's a basic vanilla cake, but I want to make, at Ben's suggestion, I want to make like a, you're welcome. I want to make a like orange creamsicle version of these cupcakes. I figure if I just add some like orange zest and like orange oil or orange extract, maybe some orange zest, that it'll come out. Because that's what I did with I have a recipe for orange creamsicle pancakes. And pretty much what I did for that was just take like a basic pancake recipe that I developed using like a homemade baking mix and just added orange zest, orange oil. New York is a mess, but you're fine. Good. How far are you actually out of the city? Are you like a couple hours, or is it like 20 minutes out of the city? I'm not sure how responsive the chat actually is here. But I think I have enough potatoes for what I need to do, although probably wouldn't be problematic to 90 minutes from New York. Okay. I think that's a pretty good distance. As a teacher in my former life, I used to go to New York in the summer because it seems like everybody leaves New York in the summer. So when I had 11 weeks off, I would just sublet a place in the city. One year I was up in Washington Heights. Another year I was out in Astoria. There's a third year. Oh, I did a summer in Chicago, same thing. Could never really get into like the heart of Manhattan because that was like $3,000 for a single room and like I don't know, sharing it with 3 other people. Like it was crazy. It's been quite a few years. I'm sure it's even worse now, but anyways, I think I'm gonna just make as many potatoes as I can because that's not a bad thing to have leftovers of. And as much as I enjoy cooking, I'm still definitely liking convenience foods. I feel like I'm pretty stocked on pantry staples. Although I do want to get some more all-purpose flour here. I'm talking about cupcakes, but I'm truly rationing flour here. Oh, you were born in Astoria. Sorry, the chat goes away really quick. Grew up in Flushing, Queens, like the nanny. So speaking of like escapist things, hello, Victoria. So Ben's parents gave us an antenna for our TV. We've been without cable for a very long time. But his parents gave us an antenna, and so we've been watching a lot of TV from the antenna. So I watch a lot of PBS cooking during the day, but I forget what the channel is, but the nanny comes on at like 8 p.m. and it's, I think, a 2-hour block at least of the nanny, and it's kind of the perfect. Yeah. So when you said Flushing, Queens, I started to sing the nanny theme song in my head, as one does. I'm surprised, honestly. Like the potatoes, they look pretty rough, but I don't know how well it's going to show up on here. But a lot of these are really dry and shriveled, and it just goes to show you once you take the peeling off, there's actually really good potatoes still inside. I'm not saying that I would necessarily have thrown these away without doing this first, but they've been in my fridge for a while. So are you guys watching it every night also? Is that part of your nightly routine? It's a catchy track. I think Ben didn't grow up with it. Like watching it with him, I feel like it's the first time that he's really experienced the nanny. And I think the first time that he heard me sing the theme song along with it, he was a little bit put off. Like, oh, he's always surprised to learn new things about me after. Oh, your mom watched it? You just didn't watch it? Is that some sort of shade, Ben? It's on 11 p.m. here, so we're getting ready for bed. Yeah. Like I said, I think it's at least a 2-hour block here. I love that it's just like it feels like somewhere in the world, all my favorite shows from childhood are still playing somewhere. All right, so I have this one and then one more to go. Then I'm going to cut these up into little squares. And I have my kind of baking tray here. I'm going to put it into my Breville Smart Oven. I'm going to do little cubes. I think I'm going to... I met Fran at an OBGYN conference. That's awesome. I'm going to do them into little cubes. And I really like seasoning breakfast potatoes with like a Lowry seasoning salt. There's a restaurant here in Vegas called the Egg and I, and that was one of my favorite pre-vegan breakfast places, and they always did these really nice. Bro, peel faster, plox. Not sure what plox means. I mean, what's the rush? I don't have anywhere to go. Nothing else going on today. This is literally the highlight of my day. Peeling potatoes. And plus they're kind of funky, and I'm not really at a good angle for speed peeling right now, so I'm just kind of chilling, chatting. I'm hungry, lol. Oh, well, I don't think me having a nice full breakfast here on screen is gonna help your hunger though. Do you have curfews there? Not that I'm aware of. We were actually out last night, not out, but we decided to take a drive because we haven't been out anywhere and the strip is closed. So we decided to take a drive down the strip for the first time since, well, what are you cooking, Michael? The first time we've taken a drive down the strip since everything's been closed. And it was kind of weird. Because there's some lights that are on, but other lights that are not on. But anyways, there was a lot of cops out on the street. Like every intersection had a cop car sitting there. And it seems like they have a lot of things blocked off. I'm not sure. It wasn't that late. I guess it was maybe like close to 9 o'clock by that point. But it seemed like people were driving around. Didn't seem like anyone was being told to stay home. I could be completely wrong. Again, I stay inside, I do my thing, and something's really important, it'll get to me. Vegas is a city where everybody goes from their house to their car to, I mean, I always say that, like, in my summers in New York, I was constantly bumping into people. Like, you're always interacting. There's always people, whether it's on the subway or on the street, there's always people. Like, you're always hitting people. In Vegas, you can go a long time without actually interacting with another person. It's pretty spread out, pretty new, and you can go a long time without having any contact with others. So I'm just rinsing off the potatoes here before I chop them. Pardon me for 1 second. Also, sitting down to cook is a weird thing I've never experienced before. We just made a unicorn peach pie with peaches from our garden for... Oh, what? Hold on 1 second. So wait, what is a unicorn peach pie? Is a unicorn a type of peach? I heard Odie come running in here because he hears chopping sounds. Again, this is weird. I'm sitting down, so don't criticize my chopping right now in a weird setup. I should get a bowl. No, the crust has a unicorn cut out. Oh, it's literally a like a themed pie. What is the reason for the unicorn? Is that an Easter tradition I missed out on as a child? Or y'all just like unicorns? And did you make it for your channel or just for yourselves? Did you share the recipe with the world? Just for fun. You know what? I approve. It's kind of cool, 42 people. I wasn't sure how many people I would be able to get in here to watch me chop potatoes. These are going to cook for, I don't know, maybe a half hour or so. I think I might even turn on the air fry function. It's already on convection. Not sure how I'm going to film the next section where I cook sausage and my tofu scramble. I already have a video on my channel for vegan breakfast burritos. So I'm pretty much following that recipe. And I have to say, one good thing about putting recipes online is that when I come up with a recipe, I know where to find it. There's probably to the meals that I cook that have been something that I've cooked before. I go to my website and search for the recipe and follow my own recipe on my website. Thanks, Sensible Crime. Yeah, Ben, maybe as soon as I'm done with putting these, I might have you come in and help me. I'm making oatmeal with the fixin' soy yogurt, ground flax, pumpkin seeds, blueberries, ripe bananas, walnuts, peanut butter. Sounds pretty good. I've always been a savory breakfast kind of person. I was the kind of kid that always loved biscuits and gravy. I was kind of a picky kid. I would probably go without breakfast if the only option was cereal. Be like, I mean, I guess I did like eggs, scrambled eggs and things like that, but do you use just eggs for any baking recipe? So I had this idea quite a while ago, which got abandoned, but I was going to find celebrity recipes that weren't vegan, and I was going to veganize them. So there's the Hemingway burger video. There is the Kris Jenner brownies video. And the Kris Jenner brownies, I think that contains like 4 eggs. And I was struggling. I made a couple test batches. Can you do a beef stew in an upcoming video? Like a vegan beef stew, obviously. But so just egg. I ended up experimenting and using just egg as the egg replacement in the brownies, and I recently did, I think I only did it in my stories though, but I wanted to truly test the limits of using chickpea flour as an egg substitute, and I ended up making a buttermilk pie using chickpea flour and water as the egg, and that recipe itself had 4 eggs in it, and the cake or the pie is set up. So I think I might actually prefer, based on knowing how the brownies did and how this pie did, I might actually prefer a chickpea flour and water egg substitute to a just egg. Although they're very similar, they're both just bean stuff and water. Because all that just egg is mung beans and water. So a 1/4 cup chickpea flour and a 1/4 cup of water mixed together, I found is perfect to replace 1 egg. So beef stew. I do want to get some more wheat gluten. I haven't been to the store in quite a while, and Amazon delivery, it's not really. I've heard you have to go on at like midnight to try to set up a delivery because otherwise you can't get a delivery. So I haven't been able to get any gluten, but I do like making seitan in the bread machine. I bought a bread machine at a thrift store for about $2. And I use that quite a bit when I have gluten to make seitan. I just Googled, actually it was Vegan Yak Attack, Jackie, who told me about this concept of cooking seitan in a bread machine. And so I tried it and I loved it. So I definitely could, if I had some gluten, make some seitan, and I could probably make some sort of beef stew. If you look on my channel, I have a video for mushroom bourguignon pie, and I was watching a lot of the Great British Bake Off. I think vegan egg is better for getting an eggy taste for baking. Yeah, I don't necessarily want an eggy taste. I've been really turned off by the smell of eggs lately. A friend of mine who I was going to the gym with would always eat eggs in the car before, and it was the most disgusting smell. Like the smell of eggs, I didn't realize were that bad. But and all these people are trying to get me to put black salt on my stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh, add black salt." No, I don't like black salt. It is not a good smell. It is not a good flavor. Like, stop telling me to use black salt. Mushroom bourguignon pie. So that's pretty close. The filling that I use in that pie is very similar to like a beef stew. So if you look up that, you could probably, it's mostly mushrooms, but I think that base is so good. If I were to make some sort of stew, I would probably start there. But I have to tell you, as a kid, I didn't love stew. Like any type of long cooked meats, things like that, I just didn't love. I hate cooked carrots. That's like one of the, like, bean sprouts and cooked carrots are some of the, like the two foods that I could really do without. So I cook with carrots, but like big chunks of cooked carrots in like a stew, I didn't really love. So that, yeah, beef stew hasn't been necessarily something that I've tried to. I do love a pot pie though. I have a couple pot pie recipes. I cannot stand cooked carrots. I don't know what it is, what happens to them. I love a raw carrot. I love pickled carrots. Yeah, I love cooked squash and sweet potatoes as well, but I don't know what it is about a cooked carrot. It gets dull. Almost done here, and I don't know how I'm going to cook all of these. Does anybody know if I can save chopped potatoes? Can you just put them in like a bowl of water and save them? Is that a thing? Maybe I'll, you know what, I might just have to turn on the big oven and do a bigger baking sheet. I just like the way the smart oven cooks better. Keep them in water. Too long, they'll turn gray. Water, but change it every day. Does that change like the texture? Does it soak up a bunch of water? Does it change the starch? Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Thank you. Roasted carrots are yummy, and yes, it's supposed to make them crispier if you soak them. Okay, I will give you something. So, cooked carrots, as much as I just went off talking about how I don't like cooked carrots. Roasted carrots. I can be okay with that. If they're like nice and crispy, it's just like the boiled variety, I'm not really a fan of. The simmered, slow cooked. But I think that's how a lot of things are. I think a lot of people hate a lot of vegetables because they grew up with parents who cooked the crap out of vegetables because quite a few years ago, that's just how you did it. Things were cooked for a long time. You cooked the life out of everything. Now I feel like vegetables get cooked like 1 or 2 minutes. But yeah, in the past, so I think I'm still tarnished with my experiences of cooked carrots from childhood. And also a lot of people use canned and frozen vegetables. Is the hair a bonus? I agree. Roasted veggies, yeah, I'm down with that. So maybe I should be more specific. I don't care for carrots that are cooked in liquid for a long period of time. Who's Carol? Do we have trolls in here? Is that what's happening? This one I'm a little bit sketchy about. Okay, so what I need to do, having all of these potatoes here, is I want to grab a bowl, which is in the other room, and I'm going to toss it with some seasonings. What is going on in the comments? I need to give somebody moderator privileges. Okay, I'm going to go grab a bowl. I'll be right back to season these. What have I missed? What can I do? So what I'm going to put with these, I'm not a troll, we were talking about the Tiger King. Sorry if it offended anyone, meant no offense. Oh, yeah. Every time I go on to, hey, don't watch this. Happy Easter, again, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, so I'm going to put a little olive oil on the potatoes. No offense, but the video quality is awful. Yeah, I apologize. It was really terrible before. It was doing well before. Seasoning salt. I am using my phone because when we try doing it with the computer, it's even worse. Black pepper. So I used a Lowry seasoning salt. I used black pepper, and I'm adding some paprika, smoked paprika. And I'm going to add some more garlic and onion powders. Garlic, onion, and I'm going to toss this up with my hands. Hope this doesn't trigger Ben. He hates when people touch food with their fingers, but it's going to go in the oven. I washed my hands right before this. So the paprika adds a lot of color, which I really like on my breakfast potatoes. Some of the vegan fake meats are gross. Yeah, you're not wrong. Some of the cheeses are pretty gross too. Again, I'm pretty much following my recipe that there's a video on my channel for vegan breakfast burritos. I'm pretty much just using that. So I'm spreading it out on this baking sheet. I'll give you a bird's eye view here in a second. My oven is set for 400. I'm gonna probably crank it up to 425. And I'm going to let these go for half hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to rinse my hands. Wow, they look a lot less red here. So I'm going to put these into my smart oven. to 425, and that's on convection. All right, so let's save these other potatoes. Sounds specific. Does anybody have any questions about what to cook during this time? I'm using the water from my fridge. I do wish the chat stuff stayed like a little bit longer. It like pops up on the screen and then disappears right after. Where do you get your cheddar cheese sauce from? I truly, when I need like a cheese sauce recipe, that's been my go-to forever. We'll see if this works here. I'm at the stove. Oh, Ben's here. And he can help me with questions. Cool. So, this is weird because I was able to see it before, and you're going to be able to give me the questions that people ask?
Sure.
So the video, it's coming out today, right?
Yeah.
So there's a video coming out today for an Italian sausage and lentil dish, which is really incredible. And I had some leftover sausage from that, and it's been in the freezer, and I set it out for a while to thaw. Hi, Odie. So I'm just crumbling it into this cast iron pan. I'm going to brown it up, take it out, and then I'll add the tofu and do my tofu scramble. This is also weird because I'm used to Ben filming me and being able to say like, all right, cut. Now we can edit this part out. We can't do that. Is there anybody talking? Anybody asking anything?
Will you make more shopping videos?
Eventually.
They liked the Asian market video.
Oh, thanks. That was the behind the scene video. That video actually has very few
Like 2 views.
Yeah, that one didn't catch on. But I'm glad you like it. I love that market. I would love to go back. There's another market not too far from here called the Seafood City, which is not the most vegan friendly name, but Seafood City has some incredible produce, and I love buying all of their sauces and things like that. So yeah, as soon as things are back to normal, I think there would be okay. I don't know. I always find that like videos that don't have a recipe don't do well at all. Videos that are like behind the scenes or us just talking just don't seem to do as well. So
It's because 99% of your content's recipe videos.
right. Which I like.
Jacqueline from Scotland.
Hey, Jacqueline. I didn't even clean the kitchen before this. Dishes in the sink. I'm in basketball shorts. A wrinkled shirt. Unshaved. I don't even know the last time I even slightly trimmed. Whatever. Embrace it.
I think most people are probably in that state right now.
Yeah. I'm just trying to brown this up. It's on medium high-ish. This pan here is a Le Creuset cast iron pan that my mom bought me probably 20 years ago. And I never used it. I hated it. I didn't understand cast iron. And then I ended up buying, like once I kind of got into cast iron, I ended up buying another cast iron. And I used that a lot. And then one day it just clicked and I remembered like, what about that old cast iron pan you've had for years? Like literally it was in the broiler of this oven for, how long have we been in this house? 4 years? Almost 4 years?
Was that Beyond Sausage?
Yeah, this is Beyond Hot Italian. So it was literally in the broiler part of this oven for 4 years. I didn't even think about it. And then one day I was like, hey, I have this cast iron pan. I wonder if I re-season it and try to use it again, how it'll go. And I don't use it a ton because I really do like my other one. It's a, oh, here it is. Sorry, Odie. It's got a higher, straighter side. It's about the same size. But I prefer this one. This is something I got at the thrift store. It's a Wagner, which if you know anything about cast iron, apparently that's a thing. So I've had that one for years. I got it at a thrift store. I use that all the time. But I'm trying to use this one because I've got it seasoned up nicely. Does anyone else like to use cast iron out there? Kind of.
People were saying you have like very little dishes in the sink compared to others.
So I hate unloading the dishwasher. I don't know. Folding laundry. So let's just be fully transparent here. There is a dryer full of t-shirts that has been full and dry for probably a week now. I'm cool with putting them in the washer and dryer, but like taking them out and folding them is just not something I like. Same with dishes. Loading up the dishwasher, no problem. Starting the dishwasher, great. Unloading the dishwasher, the sink will get packed and piled full of dishes, and it's all just because I hate the idea of...
Have you tried Pure Farmland sausages?
I haven't. Are they good? I do see them at the store, and they have a breakfast one. The new Beyond Breakfast sausage, I really want to try. While this is browning up nicely, I'm going to grab my tofu. So I have a block of super firm tofu. Don't use any firmness, I think. I didn't a couple of weeks. I was able to find some on a trip to Whole Foods, and I was able to get like one of these, one that's already into cubes, and one medium firm. But I'm gonna use the super today. Lemon juice is my favorite thing to put in to tofu scrambles. Basically, it's just tofu, lemon juice, nutritional yeast, and salt. And I think that's like the secret. Also, not crumbling it up, like leaving it in little kind of nuggets, I think is the trick to a good tofu scramble. I think these are about done. Let them go a minute longer. Potatoes are doing great. What else? So we're gonna have potatoes, sausage, tofu. I do have some vegan BioLife shreds. I have some onion. You want to keep that raw, right? Raw onion. What are we missing? Do you want to add anything else? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to try to fry up some of that other bacon, or do you think this is enough breakfast meat?
That's fine.
Okay. Alright, let's take this out. I'm gonna use this.
Peppers.
I wish. In terms of produce, right now I have onions, I have a kabocha squash, I have...
Also tortillas.
Oh yeah, there's a collection of them to your right. And you missed me spilling this all over the counter. Tortillas. So we have 2 Mission tortillas. We have a couple old Trader Joe's tortillas that were frozen. There's a couple small tortillas from the cauliflower taco video. So I don't grow any food.
Well, you tried, but...
I tried, but I didn't try that hard. In terms of emergencies, we're pretty good on cans. But that's TVP. Cans are great. I also have a bunch of dried beans and grains. That's pretty much my supply right there.
Off topic, haven't been able to get jackfruit to taste like tuna. Or tuna salad. Any tips?
To get it? I haven't looked. I don't love jackfruit. I have a couple of good jackfruit recipes. Jackfruit chilorio tacos. I found a trick to make jackfruit really good, but it's not something that I turn to that often. But
It always kind of reminds me of pineapple.
yeah, Ben thinks the texture is like pineapple. I don't know if I know I agree with it. I definitely agree with it. I know Amazon deliveries are a little bit slow. If you have an Asian supermarket, that's probably the best place to go for jackfruit.
Kathy just made you jammy beans. Like them a lot.
Say what? Oh, the jammy beans. All right, so I'm just breaking this up into little chunks, and the pan's on medium heat. I didn't add any more oil here because the oil from the sausage, and it's a pretty well seasoned pan. And this takes a little while because I like to keep it in bigger chunks.
Really hoping you get something.
Always. I've never cooked tofu scramble in a cast iron pan. I always use a non-stick, but we're living on the edge today. I think we'll be okay. Pretty well seasoned. There's lots of fat from the sausage. So I'm gonna let this get browned a little bit. Probably add a little bit of salt right now. Salt. Got some red pepper flake. A lot of red pepper flake. You okay with some heat? Black pepper. And I do have a pretty big stock of nutritional yeast up there, but I keep a little smaller container down here on the ground. So the goal here is to try to get these to get browned up on every side. They will kind of, the edges will soften a little bit. They won't look so square. And then we'll add some lemon juice, which adds, it's the weirdest thing. It doesn't read like lemon juice. There is like a slight tartness to it, but, and it doesn't taste like egg. You're not going to eat this and say, oh my God, this tastes exactly like egg. It's going to be a delicious tofu scramble, and it's going to taste like a delicious tofu scramble. And the nutritional yeast is going to really help the flavor. I don't think you're going to fool anybody. No one's going to eat this and say like, I'm eating egg, but I'm vegan. But it will be delicious.
Where are you?
In life? We live in Las Vegas.
What's the time?
What?
What's the time?
In Las Vegas? 10:58. So I'm impressed. This isn't sticking too bad. Going well. So I'm going to let this go for a little bit. I'm already getting a little bit of browning, which is nice. It's probably going to take maybe 15 minutes. A lot of times I don't know how long things cook. I just feel them out. And I'm breaking up pieces if they're really big, but I don't know if you want to get in here on the pan. I don't like my tofu scramble to be much smaller than this.
$31 right now.
Okay. We lost a few. We're good.
Yeah, I just hope it's not half terrible.
Is it terrible?
I don't know. I can't tell.
I'm going to cut this while I'm waiting. Probably only use half of this lemon. I may decide to use the whole thing. Any other questions? Tips?
Okay.
It's weird how like they pop on and then disappear really quickly, right?
What?
The comments.
Yeah, they should stay up.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can change it somewhere.
I'm loving this pan for this.
Hello from Red Rocks.
Hello. Like in Colorado or out at Red Rock? I guess Red Rock is outside of Vegas, Red Rocks is Colorado, right? I'm gonna add nutritional yeast now. I'm adding quite a bit. Probably almost a quarter cup. Did it reconnect?
I think so. Just joined in. How are you preventing sticking in your pan?
So I'm not preventing 100% of sticking. This pan is really well seasoned. Whenever I use it, I wipe it out or rinse it out and then fill it with a little bit of, that's the wrong word. Put about a teaspoon of oil in there, wipe around the pan, turn it on to maybe like medium, and let it go until it steams, and then I throw it in the oven, and pretty much keeps it seasoned so it doesn't really stick. I mean, you can look in the pan if it's doing a pretty decent. If I have to scrub it for any reason, I definitely, well, every time I use it.
What's your favorite cheese for melting in casserole type dishes?
My favorite cheese, pretty much, period, is this, the BioLife.
And do you use black salt in your tofu scramble?
Nope. People love black salt. I don't get black salt. Bless you.
You're right.
This is pretty good. I'm actually needing to turn the potatoes, so I'm going to take those out.
Black salt triggers Michael for some reason.
It's not for some reason. There's a specific reason. These look good. These, so this is the rack inside of the smart oven for air frying, and I use this pretty much all the time, but I keep like I like these copper mats. I bought them at Bed Bath & Beyond. It was like $10 for 2 copper mats, and I have them actually as the liner for the bottom of my smart oven. When we make pizzas now, I've been using them as the thing to build the pizza on so that they can go into the oven. I usually remove it after a little while so that the bottom of the pizza can get crispy, but it's pretty much what I use instead of baking dishes, especially in the smart oven. These are looking amazing, by the way. I don't know how they got so beautifully golden in such a short period of time. I'm not mad at it, though.
I mean, it's been like an hour.
Has it been that long? Those are good. I'm going to put them in for just another minute or two, but I think this wrapped up faster than I thought it would. The scramble, I think we're good. I'm going to give one of these little nuggets a taste, but this is kind of how I like it. You got some pretty even brownness. I know I said 15 to 20 minutes, but it seems like it's cooking faster today. Maybe time flies when you're having fun. All right, I'm going to squeeze lemon juice in here. Avoiding steam burns. And that helps also to deglaze the pan if anything is stuck. Just brightens up the dish. I'm gonna grab a fork behind Ben. Let's give a nugget a taste.
Any tips for cookies so they aren't so hard after baking?
Don't overbake them. Also, there are some recipes, you'll have to, like, if you search, like, soft cookies versus firm cookies, I think it has to do with maybe baking soda or baking powder, but I think the main one is maybe slightly undercooking them. If you look on my channel, I have a video for the best vegan chocolate chip cookies, and those stay really soft. I use coconut oil as the fat, and they never get firm. They're even on the almost too soft side. But a lot of cookie recipes will tell you to pull them at a very specific time. Make sure your oven is set to the right temperature. and pull them at a very specific time, like at exactly 8 minutes or exactly 13 minutes or something like that, so that you can avoid overcooking. And they're gonna, as they cool, they'll firm up a little bit more, but yeah, I think the main culprit is cooking them too long.
Have you used Miyoko's cheese for mac and cheese?
I have not. And she has a new oat milk cheese, which I want to try. Like shreds and slices. Some more nutritional yeast.
I think someone asked about the lemon juice.
Oh, what was the question?
I just think it was like lemon juice question mark.
Yep. Lemon juice adds a brightness, a delicious flavor. I've just always done it this way. You know, it's not really going to sell the egg thing, but I think it just makes for a delicious tofu scramble. All right, I think these are actually done.
Looks scrambled.
Yeah. Ben and I are both of the firmer scrambled egg. Like growing up, we both liked the firmer scrambled egg.
Have you ever made kvass? KVAA or KVASS?
Is that a type of alcohol?
Yeah.
I think the potatoes are done. I'm good with those. You want to start assembling?
I mean, you can.
Okay. I'll make you one now. How are you doing? You wanted it grilled though? You want that?
Slavic fermented drink made from rye bread.
I haven't made that.
What does that taste like?
Does it taste like beer? Do you want it grilled like a grilled burrito?
Just soft.
Okay. Then I won't grill it. So I'll save these ones for yours, and I'll just use the Trader Joe's ones. I'm going to use this cast iron to warm the tortilla. I saved them in the fridge, so there's still a little bit of a chill on them. Oh, we need some sort of like taco sauce, right?
Hot sauce.
Use that. We do have the hot sauce container. I'm excited for this. I wasn't like super hungry, but
Where'd you get the square cast iron?
this I actually got at Sur La Table, the store here in Las Vegas at the Fashion Show Mall, which is on the Strip. They are going out of business, that specific location, and so everything in the store was, I think, 30% off. So I bought it there.
There's going to be no filming of burrito eating happening.
No mukbang. Just double check and make sure this is right.
Try Miyoko's cheese cheddar and follow your heart's smoked Gouda and mac and cheese. You won't be disappointed.
We definitely had a smoked Gouda, but never in mac and cheese. I do love, I think I mentioned earlier, someone asked about a cheese sauce. I love the hot for food cheese sauce. It's just like the base that I go to. But she has a recipe on there for macaroni and cheese, which is so old. It's like one of her earliest recipes. And when things started to get a little bit crazy around here, when the quarantine thing started, that was like one of the first things that I made was that mac and cheese. And it's so good. It's a baked macaroni and cheese. You make like a pretty thin sauce, goes on the macaroni, it bakes, use like a breadcrumb topping on it. It's so good. I really recommend that. I think I did add some Violife shreds to it when I made it last time, because the recipe does have like an optional vegan cheese component. All right, let's assemble. So I'm gonna add some potatoes that are beautifully crispy. I'm so happy that they're... Add some tofu scramble.
You gonna talk about your new utensil?
Oh, the fish spatula. all the cool people that do any sort of food media seem to be using the fish spatula recently. So I started using it as well, and it's amazing. It needs to be rebranded. If one utensil needs to be rebranded, it's that one because it's called the fish spatula. But it's great. I don't have to worry about metal, obviously, in cast iron. It's great for scooping things. I'm not going to try to sell you on it. It's great. Do you want BioLife?
No.
No. Then I'll eat this one. Some BioLife shreds. I guess I'll add some taco sauce to the inside. This La Victoria, I came across this because I think I Googled it one day, what's the closest thing to the Taco Bell fire sauce. So if you like Taco Bell sauce, and you can buy Taco Bell sauce in the store, but this was when I Googled it before Taco Bell sold sauces in the store. This is what I was told by the internet was the closest to that. So that's why we have that. Although we do have some Taco Bell sauces in here. As well, if you watch the Hot Things video, those are some of the hot sauces that were supposed to be crazy hot that weren't. All right, so I'm going to roll this up. Hopefully, I'm not going to be able to.
Why did you fill that so much?
It seemed like a good idea at the time. It's great. It'll be fine. It'll be delicious. So I'm going to eat this, and I think this is where we'll end the video. Hopefully you guys like this. If you want to see more live streams, comment below. I don't even know how long this was.
An hour and 2 minutes, according to this time.
Well, I had fun. Hopefully y'all had fun too. There is a video that Ben needs to edit. Is it edited? Cool. It should be out today, hopefully, by 2 o'clock. We'll see. But let's give this a taste. Really good idea.
This was my idea, everybody.
Yeah, Ben was like, can you make breakfast burritos? I'm like, I can.
I didn't look like that when I asked the question, but...
Come on. All right, I'm going to go. We're going to eat this. Ben's going to make some for himself. And yeah, we should have a video later. Again, if you want to see more of these, let me know.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Well, I promise the live streams will be better. We'll work it out at some point.
I did great.
All right.
All right,
Bye, guys.